Hello, everyone. My name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is December 12th, 2022. And this is the moment of truth, okay? This is the moment of truth. We either get a big move in one direction or the other, okay? Very likely we get a big move to the upside, right? Why? We're gonna look at why this is, a moment of truth. We're gonna look at the Bitcoin price. Obviously, we're gonna look at that price action. We're going to also look at the DXY, the market mover, okay? And we're gonna have a look at our I've got like a there was no show yesterday because I wasn't feeling well at all. And I think I'm just going to nix the Sunday shows from now on, given this change in market sentiment. So we're just going to be going Monday through Saturday, and I think that's sufficient. But what I want to say, given the change in market, no, sorry, I'm not. Oh, man. What I want to say. Anyway, you guys can tell I'm not on my game, but it's fine. You can probably tell from my voice as well. I'm still convalescing from this cough. All right, let's get into it, shall we? Let's start with Bitcoin. Okay, this is a moment of truth. All right, on the 4-hourly time frame, what's this look like? Nothing in our basic analysis, our analysis hasn't really changed, right? Remember, let me redraw that. The basic analysis of this price action for the past few weeks has been that we've made a bullish pattern, an inverse head and shoulders. We've broken it to the top side. This is a confirmation of such pattern. We've retested the neckline. So we've made previous resistance into new support. And this should be a breakout, okay? Now, what has happened since our last post, our last live stream, excuse me, is we've come down again to this neckline, okay? So here, let's get a little more precise here. Guys, I hope you're doing well. I am also doing well. I know it doesn't sound like it, but I'm on the mend. I'm feeling a lot better than I was. Like, I really wasn't doing that hot. And I don't get sick often. I get sick maybe once a year. But when I do get sick, it is not nice. But I'll take it. I'll take getting sick less often. And then when I do get sick, it's a shit show. I absolutely love Pavarotti. That's also my son's favorite operetto. I love him. It's dramatic, right? It fits the title. This is one of my favorite operas. Yeah, so this is essentially our main read. Let's see. Right? So you come up here for this double 3. It looks like a double 3 to me, okay? Could be wrong, but it looks like a double 3. A W, an X, and then a Y, right? So that's why I counted it as a double 3. Now, why is this the moment of truth? It's because we're at the neckline. Okay? this is the neckline of that inverse head and shoulders. If we want this to continue to be a bullish breakout, okay, which it was over here, ever since we broke, excuse me, 16.8, this is bullish. Anything above 16.8 is bullish. Do you see? Anything above 16.8, which represents the neckline, is bullish. And so, whatever consolidation we get over here should be seen as a continuation of this precedent, which is a bullish construction. Okay, so that's basically my my read of Bitcoin at present. Okay, and so it's the moment of truth because we're at this neckline right here. Okay, pretty much. Okay, we can always come down a little more. We can wick down below it, sure, but we're pretty much at the neckline, and either you bounce from here or you break. And if you break down from here, now you're creating a new scenario, something different. Okay, so that's why I'm saying this is the moment of truth. It's a decision. Okay, and I think it's more likely than not, given what happened over here, that this continue and we do not get a breakdown. Okay, hope that makes sense. Let's go on the smaller time frames and see if there's anything of note. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, okay, is, so like I said, I believe that this makes sense as a pivot to a Y, okay? And then what we're getting here looks like a leading diagonal, okay? Looks like one of these. Would not be surprised if that happened, okay? Could it be different? Of course, but it just looks like that. The way it's set up, the way it's matriculating. Let's look at our momentum indicator. Okay, so momentum indicator on the hourly time frame is overbought. Still, if it is a breakout, it doesn't matter because the hourly time frame is so small, it can stay overbought. More importantly, the 4-hourly time frame is completely oversold and crossed bullish. So, not surprised. I would not be surprised if we just got one of these. Boom. Welcome to the party. That would be great, obviously, right? The DXY now. Okay. The DXY has been doing the same nasty trick. It's not a trick, but it's been doing the same stupid thing for the past month. So since December 1st, it's December 12th. No, it's almost 2 weeks. It broke down from this level, came to retest it, and it's dancing on this neckline. Okay, it's still bearish. DXY is still bearish because this breakdown is just being retested. That's it. That's all there is here. There's nothing bullish about this in the slightest. If you go down time frame, you can even see this is a very clear head and shoulders right here. Okay, and this broke down, retest. I would expect a further breakdown of this head and shoulders pattern. Okay, just a confirmation. So breakdown, retest, breakout. So just like everything, if it's a inverse head and shoulders, if it's a head and shoulders, it's confirmed by the break of the neckline. Then you get a retest of that neckline, and now a further breakdown. So what gives me confidence that Bitcoin and crypto is more likely to break bullish than not is this right here. This level in the DXY has proven to be staunch resistance for a few days now, since the 9th. Okay, we're the 12th. That's 3 days in a row where you've just proven that you're not getting past this level of, what is it, 105.2. So yeah, this looks likely to break down further. Okay. And again, like any corrective move, any consolidative move, the final move, the final leg is always impulsive. So here it looks like you got that impulsive push, which heralds the last kick of a consolidative move. Okay, whether it's a double three or triple three, ABC, XYZ, WXX, WXYXZ, ABCDE. The final leg is always impulsive. Actually, not in an ABCDE, that's a triangle, and the final leg is not impulsive. But the final leg of the E wave is impulsive, okay? I know. I almost slipped up there. Okay? So, yeah, this is the moment of truth. Okay, what's this look like, excuse me, in other assets? Let's find out. Let's go down our watch list. Okay. So this is our watch list. We got DOT, Cardano, Reserve Rights, Dodo, Ethereum, Zilcoin, Zilliqa, Dogecoin, Litecoin, Synthetics, Algorand, BNB, and XRP. BNB being fudded heavy, am I right? Whoa. People are really, really trying to take that down. It's crazy. In any case, 4-hourly time frame, I'm seeing things on support, okay? Polkadot right here is on support. This is clear support, right? Looks to me like this is some sort of double, some sort of consolidation reversal pattern, where this is the first degree, and then this is the second degree. Right here. This looks like the support right here. Again, you're open, cross bullish on the 4-hourly time frame. On the hourly, you're overbought. Okay, Cardano, same thing. You're at this support level. This is why it's the moment of truth, okay? Bitcoin is on a support level, but some of these altcoins are on their support level, like the support level. This is their lowest low of the bear market. They need to defend this level. It's not a question of breaking down just casually. Like a further breakdown is a massive breakdown. You can see on the daily. This would really. So this has been the entire consolidation, accumulation for the bear market for Cardano. And you can see it's slanted downwards. It's showing weakness, and we've talked about that a lot of times. Staked assets, tokens that people can stake and earn rewards from, they exhibit this type of sloped behavior. It's just a bit of weakness because people can sell off even in a bear market, okay, where price doesn't appreciate. People can take some profits, so you tend to get this kind of chart. Although it's still held relatively speaking, it's market structure, okay? You can wick below and still hold market structure. A breakdown from this level would be a serious breach of market structure, because here you see that you've created a rounded bottom. Really, it shows like a strong support level that should be held, right? If this continues to the upside, that holds this bottom, and this whole thing is, one big consolidation reversal channel. If you break down, this becomes an intra-wave correction, okay? So big deal right here, big deal. This is the moment of truth, okay? It was aptly titled. So yeah, 4-hourly time frame looking okay. Okay, reserve rights, it's looking spry. 4-hourly time frame, like these other assets, you have you're open on the momentum indicators, okay? And I still think that this is a pivot. This is in some way a 5-wave move, and then this is some way a 3-wave move. Probably some sort of complex correction. Something like that. Or maybe it's a 333, right? Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, WXYXZ is possible. But it just fits the bill of a 5-wave move followed by a 3-wave move. You see that 618 was held right here. So yeah, it looks good for continuation. Moment of truth in RSR, I think it will stand. That support will hold. Dodo. Okay, you're still in this channel. You're still in this consolidation pattern, but you're showing some strength here. Can you break down a little further? Come down to this? Yeah, absolutely. But you don't have to. Ethereum. This one is of particular interest for most people. So in the in the large scheme of things, this can still be what we thought it was. A leading diagonal, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It'd still be that. I think that's still likely, actually. Let's look at this more closely. Okay. Let's go on the hourly time frame. This looks a lot like what Bitcoin did, right? Just looking at this, I see a double 3. I see this being W. I see this 1, 2, 3 being a whole X, a composed X wave. And I see this being, excuse me, a pivot down into impulse. Is the impulse finished though? That's the question. Maybe it's coming down here? That's possible. It's possible. Doesn't have to come all the way down here, obviously, but it can, right? If you're just looking at support and resistance. But a lot of these Y waves and Z waves sometimes tend to be short. They're not really long. So what do I mean by that? If you have a WXY, a lot of times the Y is a bit short. It doesn't usually get to be really long, like a flat correction. In a complex correction, a lot of times you see concerted impulses. Okay, same in WXYXZ, right? That Z wave doesn't tend to do something like this. Okay, so I would not be surprised if this were it. Okay. Zilica looks like it's at support. This looks like it's at support right here, right? That just looks like a very strong support that's been held since November. I'm just trying to see what this looks like here. Looks like a consolidation reversal pattern to me. I'm not exactly sure where it is. I thought that this was a pivot and that this was the impulse, but obviously maybe this is still the pivot and this is a composed P wave right here. 1, 2, 3. That's possible. Again, it's also possible that there's one small leg down for this. It's possible. Dogecoin. Okay, this very unlikely to be a wave 2 unless you're talking about a leading diagonal. Excuse me. The time factor, I believe. Well, hold up. Let's look at this. Let's say that wave 1 was yeah, let's say wave 1 ended here. It's 5 days. Yeah, 3 times as long. Okay, 2 things I see here for Dogecoin. One, it's very likely that this right here is the extent of the downside for this wave. Okay? One reason is you have the 0618 as support here. Second reason is I see this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 5 waves there. Okay. And I see this as a complete A, B, C flat correction. Okay. I still think that this is a possible wave 2, but it's not going to be in a regular 53535. If this is a wave 2 here, then you're expecting a leading diagonal. And so if you're expecting a leading diagonal, here's what I expect. I expect wave 3 to be just as long as wave 1. So if this is going to be a leading diagonal and this is a wave 2, then I'm expecting something like this. Okay. But then again, I mean, this can be. Let's look at this. Let's look at this again. Let's because I don't like the idea of a small, mid-December. I don't like the idea of price moving so conservatively. Not after what we've done. Look at that. It's starting to break down here. Okay, so on the daily for Dogecoin. Okay, this can just be a big pivot. Alright, look at that. If you look at the entire bear market consolidation period for Dogecoin, it can simply be this right here. That your A wave, your B wave, your secondary A wave, your secondary B wave, and this can be your big pivot. I like that much better. I like that much better. I think this is your big pivot, and it's more likely than not a zigzag. That's what it looks like. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Litecoin. I still like this being a wave 4 and this being a WXY. Okay, and this being a consolidation reversal pattern. A, B, A, B, boom. So I still like this being a double X or a whatever you call it, a double 3. Wow. Okay, what happened here? Did this just happen? Yeah, it looks like this just happened. Excuse me. It looks like synthetics just tried the top. So synthetics, I think this is likely some sort of wave 4 situation. Looks like it just started breaking out. I think from here you can see it looks something like this. I think this all was massive wave 4. I just like this count. This also looks to me like a leading diagonal. It fits the description, right? When you're talking about leading diagonal, you're talking about something that falls in the in a diagonal, right? This looks like it, doesn't it? This looks like a leading diagonal. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then massive wave 5. That's what it looks like to me. Big bounce from this level right here. Would not be surprised if it were to continue. Okay, Algorand. Okay, this is, to me, a big A, B, smaller AB pop. This is an important move to confirm that. But it looks like it's at support to me. I don't see a further breakdown, a larger breakdown. Binance Coin, this does not look like a triangle to me. Rather, I would say it looks more like a I would say it's a double 3. Just a WXY. Quite simply, right? That's all I'm saying. It's a double 3, and you're still in a zigzag construction, because at the end of the day, this is a 5-wave, 3-wave, 5-wave scenario. So that count is still valid. I think this is 5 waves, this is 3 waves to downside, respecting 0.618 of the prevailing 5 waves, and then you get 5 waves up. I think XRP is doing the same thing here. It's forming a zigzag, and it's held support really, really nicely. Excuse me. But this, to me, looks like a double 3. This is W. This is 1, 2, 3, X, right? Composed X wave. And then you have your Y. But all the while, as you can see, let me move this right here. All the while, you've held that 0.618. Right, so if you look, you see that the 5 waves up, 3 waves down, came down and held that 0.618 right here. And then you look for continuation. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, just judging by what we're seeing in the markets, I do think this is the moment of truth, and we are looking to get that big move up from here. Conksha says, hello, can you check on Harmony 1, please? What do you think about Phantom as a project? So, I don't do much fundamental analysis of projects, just generally, right? Of course, I'll do some for the projects that I'm personally invested in. But just off the top of my head, to address your second question, I know Andre Cronje recently came back to the Phantom project, I believe. And so that's a good sign for fundamentals for Phantom. I know also, just anecdotally, that there was a hack in the Phantom project before, and that it lost quite a bit in that hack. So that was an issue. I also know a little bit about, just anecdotally, this is all anecdotal, just because I'm in crypto, right? I know that the people that run the Phantom Foundation, or the people that run Phantom, right? The person, he's quite, he seems honest, or at least he's seen by the people that are investors as honest, but sometimes a little naive. But the project in and of itself, I think it's like it uses acyclic. I forget the tech, but like it's solid tech, and you can even they've floated it as a blockchain that an entire country could use. And I think people were at the beginning saying that South Korea was going to use. Oh no, now I'm thinking of Harmony. Sorry, but Phantom is a solid blockchain, and yeah, entire nations could be run off of Phantom. Now Harmony is one of those blockchains that people said, okay, for the founder being honest, I think Harmony is what I was thinking of. My brain is a little bit foggy, and I conflated both things. But Harmony, we'll just look at technically. But Phantom, yeah, is a legitimate project fundamentally, I think. I don't see any issue with it. I know that it just got hit by a hack not that long ago. Or was that Harmony? Fuck. You know what? I don't even know. Let's just look at the charts. Let's stick to our strengths. Alright, let's just look at both charts, and we should be able to see one of the greatest things. Actually, let me clean this up. Let me add this in the general watch list. One of the best things about charting is you can see everything in the chart. You can even see hacks, and you can see exploits. You can see anything important that happened. You should be able to see it in the chart. So let's have a look. Okay, so Harmony. Okay, if I'm looking at Harmony, first thing I'm doing is I'm pulling out all the way onto this daily time frame, and I'm examining this move up from March of 2020, which looks like a 5-wave move to me. Would it end here? Or would it end here? Not exactly sure, but this does look impulsive to me. This looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And then all of this looks like the 3-wave correction. So yeah, that's the first thing I would do. Right? Always start from high time frame and then work your way down. Took about 590 days or so to go up. And took about, let's see, 247 to come down. Add the consolidation reversal. Sure. Let's see. You know what? I'm thinking something else may be going on here. I don't know what this chart looks like from the beginning. Let's see if we can't pull something else that has more history. Okay, this is a little better. I think this is a little more clear. What was I thinking with that yellow line here? I know what I was thinking. Invalidation. I was thinking that if this is a 5-wave move, and I basically, my previous self was counting this as the 5 waves, like this, and this as the correction, and that if this was a legitimate correction, that you shouldn't go past this point right here. So any investment of the project would be yield positive results as long as this was respected. Something like that. Okay. Yeah, so the context of this all is a little confusing. So I'm not going to say this is a wave 1, wave 2 situation. Okay? I'm not going to assert that. But I will say that this looks impulsive, but I don't know the context. Is it pure impulse? Is it impulse within a corrective structure? I don't know. And this looks corrective. This looks to be the yang to that yin. Okay, that being said, what we can do is simply look at this. So let's just look at that. Is this still breaking down? Breaking back. Consolidating. Young Dasa says, Dean, what's up, bro? Can you check out Zcash? You should look into Zcash. Its privacy truly a gem. Alright, let's add Zcash. Zcash is in the list, so. Let's quickly have a glance at the prices. Okay, here we're getting a move. So let's go on the hourly. Looks like something's happening. We're getting some action. Okay, anyway, let's go back to what we're doing. Actually, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna open another one. That's not what we wanted to do. Actually, no, this is okay. We can do this. Yep, that's exactly what we wanted to do. Okay. Alright, let's keep working on harmony. Okay, what we want to do is just focus on this. Now, excuse me, I don't know the context of that previous move up in 2020, and that's fine. I'm gonna leave that alone as something I don't know. I'm just gonna focus on what I do know, is that this, ever since January, October 21, has been going down. So that is my drawdown, and this started to find support here in June. So I'm going to focus on that right here. And I know just from working in the markets that June 28th was a day where Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other assets also found their orthodox lows, right? That means that they started bouncing off of this drawdown to start creating these initial breaks of structures. So I think this is your first such initial break of structure. It's a 3-wave move. A, B, C, you see that? It's a zigzag targeting wave 4 of the previous trend here. And I think your subsequent move is right here. So it goes 1, 2, 3. I would say that. 1, 2, 3. And I think your second degree of AB basing is in here somewhere. So that's what I would look at now. So that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to go into the 4-hourly time frame. And this is my second degree of AB basing. Right here. This is my A wave. And this is likely my B wave. Okay, I don't love that. My B wave can be all of this. It's funky. It's not like the most like obvious, right? This would be basically an A wave and then a really nasty complex correction for your B wave of B, and then a pivot and then a zigzag. I don't love it. But I think, okay, here's what I think is highly probable. Your second degree consolidation is in here. Your second degree of consolidation of AB basing is in here. And this is your A wave. It's very clear, targeting wave 4 of the previous trend right here. And in this muck, you get your B wave. So yeah, just on a high time frame, I like Harmony to continue to the upside. Okay, and that's, I like this type of analysis that really, it doesn't overstep. It's conservative in that if you don't know, you don't know. But you don't base your analysis on what you don't know or what's spurious, you know? If it's like, I'm not exactly sure, you just leave it to the side. And you go with what the chart is saying. On a smaller time frame, like I said, this looks like conclusive, like a zigzag. Okay, and we know that the last wave of any complex correction, any regular flat correction, is impulsive. So I like that for a potential continuation to the upside to finally break this channel. Okay, so that's Harmony. What are we looking at now? Phantom, right? So Phantom, it's a lot of assets I haven't looked at in a long time. Okay, I'm not even going to. Whatever happened here, it's probably a lot more price action. Probably went up. We could probably find a good chart of this. Not Binance futures. Just a regular spot. Okay, here we go. This is one I've used before. When you've been in crypto long enough, there's no chart in TradingView that you haven't worked on. Okay, so this is really nice. If you're studying Elliott wave and you want to know what a 5-wave impulse looks like, this is as close to a textbook impulse as you can get. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, right? It's unambiguously clear. Okay, so this actually is important. Here, let's just do something real quick here. Let's measure this wave 1, wave 2. Okay, why do I want to do that? That's really important. Because as clean of an impulse as this is, you do want to be careful for the downside that follows a 5-wave impulse. Okay, this is ridiculous growth. Okay, ridiculous. You know, if you measured it from March of 2020, you went up 168,000%, right? That's massive growth. You know, this is the kind of appreciation we get in crypto. But what comes next? So I'll say that in terms of time and in price, this is likely a wave 1, wave 2 situation. If we just look at this, 175 days up. Excuse me. 63 days down. I don't know. Okay, here's what. Wave 1 and 2 are actually in here somewhere. Wave 3 starts somewhere down here. All of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is wave 3. That's my best read. This shows you an extended wave 3. Okay, a few things here for Phantom, and this is why it's very helpful when you're looking at an asset. Don't just jump into the small time frame. Like, let's say I wanted to invest in Phantom, and is Phantom or Litecoin or Phantom or XRP going to do better? I will unequivocally say it's very likely than not that XRP and Litecoin will completely destroy Phantom. Why? Because it's overheated. This is what we're seeing. This is what the chart is telling us. This is absolutely nothing to do with who's developing what and you know, how many ads or how popular their Discord server is. This is just the chart. This is cool. If you look, you'll see that you definitely have some sort of impulse and then some sort of retracement here. Now, this impulse isn't 5 waves exhaustive. It's not. It just isn't. How do we know that? Because if you think this is wave 1, wave 2, it doesn't fit the bill. Remember, excuse me, wave 2 retraces to a minimum of 382 of wave 1, and it takes just around the same time as wave 1, if not more, okay? Here, you have wave 1, if this is your purported wave 1, take 175 days, and your wave 2 take less than 100 days. It's not a wave 1, wave 2 situation. It's more likely than not that wave 1 and wave 2 are down here somewhere in this leading diagonal structure, okay? And that all of this that you're seeing here is an extended wave 3, okay? So a few things. When you get an extended wave 3, excuse me, it's more likely than not that wave 5 is concerted. Wave 5 is just a run-of-the-mill taking wave 3. So how do you measure wave 5 from an extended wave 3? You just take wave 3, retracement of wave 4, and you target the 618. I did it just, instinctively. But I would not be surprised if your maximum move up from Phantom is a 44x, and that may seem like a lot, but in the scheme of everything, and just looking at what Bitcoin's likely to do, looking at what other altcoins are likely to do, 44x is not much. So I would not be huge in Phantom given what it has done in the past, because on a high time frame it's overheated, okay? And look, if we went into the high time frames and looked at the momentum indicator, we should see something similar. We should see indication of this, okay? So the monthly is completely oversold, but the weekly is completely the monthly is completely oversold, but the weekly is completely overbought. Whereas if you go into a Bitcoin, say, right? If you go on the weekly time frame, it's oversold, right? Most assets are oversold on the weekly right now. Look, DOT oversold on the weekly. Cardano oversold on the weekly. Reserve rights oversold on the weekly. Dodo kind of, whatever. It's overbought, but it's not as over. It's overbought, but it's not crazy overbought. Ethereum oversold on the weekly, right? Dogecoin, so on and so forth. Litecoin's actually on this chart. It is. Well, it makes sense, right? It makes sense why Litecoin is so high up in momentum on the weekly, because it did this, right? It kind of got out the gates early. So in context, we understand why it's up here. Synthetics, same thing. Oversold on the weekly. Algorand oversold on the weekly. Binance oversold on the weekly. XRP oversold on the weekly. I would be careful with Phantom, given look okay, so this is not lying, the chart's not lying to you. So my analysis was done without indicators. I pop on the indicator is saying, Dean, you have a point. There's been very little to no positive move, right? Phantom hasn't been like popping off like a Litecoin or even a Dogecoin, yet and still you're coming to be oversold on the weekly time frame. It's telling me that you may get a move up, but that move up is not going to be as important as what you see in other assets. I think that this is a highly probable read that this wave 3 is indeed complete. And one of the reasons you know it's complete is obviously you can always get some ending diagonal situation, right? You never know for sure, but it's, you know, barring that, you come all the way up, and then you've retraced all the way back down to the previous wave 4. Okay, again, I know ending diagonals can do that. Ending diagonals, right? If wave 5 of this wave 3 can look like this, right? You could do something like that. That's always possible, but I'm talking probability. Probably your wave 1 was a small one. Your wave 3 was extended. Wave 5 is going to be regular. Don't expect some extension like, you know, you do in most bull markets. Wave 5 is likely to be extended. I would be surprised if Phantom gave you more than 40x, 40, 40x, something like that. Okay, so that's my response to Akanksha. On the small time frame, yeah, just like everything else, I do expect it to continue up. But again, this is not something I would be that excited about accumulating in the bear market. Given all the work that we've put in here, you know, your risk on, you're likely to get more of a return just holding Bitcoin than you are Phantom, given what you've already done here. All your damage has been done in Phantom. Okay, so yeah, that's Phantom. Now let's look at, what's the last one we're looking at? I know, I'm sorry, I'm just blanking out. It's on the watch list. It was for Young Dasa. Zcash, obviously. Here we go. Okay, so what did we previously say here? Okay, let's see. Were we completely wrong? Somewhat wrong? So, we had previously said that this was likely to be some sort of impulse. Okay, it's still likely. That's still not completely invalidated, right? As for what the count is specifically, I'm not exactly sure. But on the high time frame, this is still possibly some sort of impulse, intrawave consolidation, impulse, right? Probably gonna come down to retest that important resistance there. Just dump in the small time frames. This just looks really impulsive to me right here. On the small time frame, this looks very, very like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I can't unsee that. I can't unsee that. Okay, let's get rid of this and look at this. I think this is the beginning of that impulse. I would say this is the end of it. Okay. I think this is a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. I think that's 5 waves up, 3 waves down. Let's measure that. 4 days, 8 hours. 5 days. Yep. So like what I'm doing here is I'm just measuring the time. Excuse me. The time it's taken to go up, and the time it's taken to come down. So I like this as a 5-wave structure. I like this as a 3-wave structure. In terms of time, there's there's balance. It's you know it's comparable. In terms of price, also comparable. Our retracement has hit the minimum 382 retracement level. I I like this as wave 1, 2, and I like this as wave 3. I don't know how wave 4 is going to go, to be honest. Maybe wave 3 goes like this. I like that. And so basically, you asked, then what do you make of this? I think this is an AB base. I think this is 2 degrees of AB basing. This is a pivot. But you're going into wave 3. And then I think you have to some way, somehow retest this as support before continuing. But I like the continuation here. Anytime you establish an impulse, you're home free. Anytime you establish an impulse, not in a corrective mode, I'm not talking about a zigzag, but an actual impulse, you're home free. I think that happened for Zcash late November. So you're basically home free. Your drawdowns are pretty much categorically a 618 drawdown of any impulse, right? Maximum drawdown. And then you just play. This is an up only market to me in Zcash since the end of November. That's how I'm reading it. And I think the likely progression is something like this. Probably get an extended wave 5. I don't know, something like that. All right. Conscious says, I believe XRP doing better than Phantom, higher time frame. Yeah. So why is XRP and Litecoin going to do better than Phantom, Akasha? And why did I mention those? It's because I've talked for months about how XRP and Litecoin, especially Litecoin, if you look at the chart, it's basically a massive leading diagonal. For the same reasons Phantom is not likely to do well on the high time frame, given that most of its upward momentum has been used up, right? In that extended wave 3, Litecoin has been putting in concerted waves in that leading diagonal. So it's very likely to put in an oversized wave 5 for that cycle wave 5, which is why I'm not surprised Litecoin has been outperforming most of the cryptocurrency market, right? Not because Litecoin's great or anything like that. It's just the chart. That's what the chart says. Same with XRP. It's been putting in concerted price action, either in impulse or in correction. I think it's for XRP, it's in correction. It's a massive wave 4 correction. So just looking at that, it's just a game of probability. Most likely, the charts or the assets that have yet to run are likely to run because they need to put in their upside. But Phantom has put in its upside. So Akasha says, which projects still have yet to go through their wave 3? I saw Cardano chart. I think we still have a wave 3 left. I don't know. I think the obvious ones that if you really want to bank on something doing really well, high time frame, the obvious ones are Litecoin and XRP. The obvious ones. I mean, if you go on the high time frame and you just look at them, it's like, okay. Sorry. Here, let me just show the example and what's going on here. Okay, whatever. Here, let's just show what we're talking about here. Here, Litecoin, and I've shown this before, but it bears repeating. This is I think some of the most useful kind of analysis that you can do using Elliott wave, because you get that context. So many times in crypto, people want to catch the next 100, 200, 300x, right? And they're like, oh, this is the next 200x coin because it is like some unheard of low liquidity, really high up or really low down in the coin market cap rank. It's not something most people know about. It's just really risky projects, because you don't know, they can wreck at any moment, and you don't need to expose yourself to so much risk for a lot of upside. You just need to know how to read a chart. And this is why I've said for the longest, XRP is almost a can't miss, high upside, lower risk project. Did I say XRP? I meant Litecoin. Litecoin. And this is why Litecoin is, I think, my highest. I believe Litecoin is my highest holding of all of the assets that I've accumulated in the bear market. I believe. If it's not, then it's close to being that. I try to make it. Let's see. 5 figures here. Let's see. I'm just checking real quick. Yeah, I easily have. I easily have 5 figures of Litecoin, and that reason is, I did that on purpose because I looked at the chart and I'm like, okay, this is likely to produce high upside with relatively low downside risk. Do you see? Or with relatively low risk because it's an established project. But you can see here are the cycle waves that I've been referring to that are in the form of a leading diagonal, right? 1, 2, 3. That's a concerted wave 3 right here. Concerted wave 3, wave 4. You have to put in minimum 1618 of wave 3, 1 through 3, retracement of wave 4. That's the minimum extension of a wave 5 in a leading diagonal. So I think Litecoin is an easy call there, and it's an easy call because you have chart history. Not most projects don't have this kind of chart history, right? But if you can read it, then you can say, okay, there's a likelihood that this plays out. For XRP, we don't have the same chart history, and I'd be careful to say this is definitely a wave 1, wave 2, whatever. If I had to speculate on this chart read, I would say that there's something like a wave 1 here. It's probably a wave 2 situation here, a wave 3, wave 4, kind of like what you're getting in Litecoin, okay? Where your wave 1 and 3 are relatively same size, if not exactly the same size, yeah? And this whole thing has been a leading diagonal, okay? And it's funny, sometimes the chart, the technicals show you exactly what's going on in the real world, exactly what's going on in the fundamental world. So why does a project go through a leading diagonal? We always say in the channel, because there's so much buying and selling done. It's trudging through the mire of orders. Like, there's orders everywhere, and it makes it so that it can't get a clean move. Okay? So everything is so tough, choppy. And then finally it breaks free. Okay? And so you can see all of these orders being part and parcel of the legal proceedings against Ripple Labs, okay, for XRP. But I think that it's a likely read that this is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, going into wave 5. Okay? Not sure because I don't have all that data, but I would say XRP is another one that is likely to create outsized returns, relatively speaking, outsized returns. So it's a good one to hold on to. Let's see. Speaking of which, let me just add some really quickly. Okay, cool. So that's XRP. Looking at Cardano, because Akasha mentioned Cardano. Let's see. So something like Cardano, you don't have that much. You don't have that much chart information, because this is very clear. If you go on the monthly, what do you see? This is corrective. Excuse me. Okay, big mistake there. This is why you have to know when to go into log and when to, I looked at this off log and it looks like a corrective wave. And, there's nothing impulsive about this, right? Because your retracement is 100%. Your favorite analyst doesn't know the difference between a log scale and an arithmetic scale. And that's an issue. That's a huge issue. This chart is completely different than this chart. The completely different. Night and day, right? One is potentially bullish. One is potentially impulsive and counter-corrective, or impulsive and intra-wave corrective, and then one is more than likely corrective and counter-corrective. Huge difference, but I digress. I would say that Cardano is, I don't know what this is. Let's get that out. There's not enough data telling me this is a wave 1, wave 2, whatever, but this looks to me like a 5-wave move, and this looks to me like a 3-wave move. Is that 3-wave move wave 2? I don't know, okay? And that's important. That's a really big part of my analysis. Acknowledging what I don't know. And it saves me a lot of big mistakes. A lot of big mistakes are known, or I think are made from people overestimating what they know. The chart's not telling me much more than that. That this is some sort of impulse, and that this is some sort of intra-wave correction. Okay? If I measure and try to get a little more understanding or information from what this may be, I see 426 days up, likely. Okay, and I see, let's see, 500, 549. Okay, it's possible that these can be a wave 1, wave 2 situation, but I don't know. Okay, I don't know. So for Cardano, just to answer the question, this may be wave 1, wave 2. This may be a type of wave 3, wave 4 situation. Wave 1, wave 2 may be down here, and wave 3, wave 4 may have come down here. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, if I go on the weekly, you could be getting what you see in Phantom. That's possible. where you got an extended wave 3 and then a wave 4. It's possible. I don't know. So to answer your question, Akanksha, I don't know. But I think just to summarize, Litecoin and XRP, I think are projects you can safely say you're expecting that extended wave, and there are not that many projects, Akansha, that you could say that about, because not very many projects have enough market data. They don't have enough candles for you to read the chart and give a high time frame analysis of what is likely to happen going forward. That's why it's less risky to speculate long term on older projects. A lot of those older projects with a higher market cap position that have been in the cycles for longer, because you can read their charts and you can tell, okay, based on what they've done historically, if this pattern continues, then I should expect with a high degree of probability that move. Okay, a lot of those newer projects, it's a crapshoot on the high time frame. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it for me today. Let's have a quick look again at the DXY and at Bitcoin, and then let's wrap up. Again, the DXY is rejecting off of this level. How many times it has to come up to decide that this is resistance, I'm not exactly sure, but this is staunch resistance at this point, right? Not only is it staunch resistance for this right here, but it's staunch resistance as a neckline for this. And obviously you've wicked beyond the neckline, but it's, you have this this head and shoulders pattern. Let's redraw that. I would say the neckline's about here. Yeah. So that's the DXY, right? You have a head and shoulders bearish pattern. It broke down. You have a retest, and that retest is butting its head up against the neckline. Okay, this is bearish. This is great. Okay, do expect a continuation to the downside. Meanwhile, in crypto land, we have, where's my watch list? We have Bitcoin. Let's go on the 4-hourly time frame. Actually, let's go on the hourly time frame. We have Bitcoin putting in a very strong move. Okay, this looks very strong. I said at the beginning of our live stream that this is very likely to be some sort of leading diagonal, because it's continuing to show strength and it's matriculating in that diagonal kind of up and down. It's not breaking down. Don't be surprised if that's how your impulse starts. Remember, a lot of impulses on high time frames, if you back test it, start out as leading diagonals, like what we saw in Phantom earlier. That wave 1, wave 2, likely a leading diagonal. Don't be surprised if Bitcoin puts in something similar. Okay, but yeah, it's showing a lot of strength on the smaller time frames, which should yield a high time frame breakout. Okay, everything's looking good for continuation to the upside. Look at Litecoin. Oh, we had a breakout. Okay, this synthetics has broken out. Okay, so yeah, that's it for me, guys. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was useful. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet. And I hope you're doing well. I hope you're not going through any illness. But if you are, I hope it's not that bad, and it's your one illness for the year, and you get over it, and helps you rebalance your system. Because yeah, like I said, I only get sick maybe once a year, and it's just a drastic rebalancing of my system, and then I'm good. So there's that. All right, take care. Have a great Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.